as a team. But as I said to Vesta, there are a lot of reasons for that, and we don't question his character or anything, his work ethic. He's a good guy. We wish him well in Anaheim. Obviously, this deal makes a lot of sense for Anaheim, having announced a contract extension for Jonas Hiller yesterday. I think this is a smart move by Bob Murray to make sure he has a manageable number at the goaltender position from a salary standpoint. And Jason Blake is in this deal, and I think Jason Blake, from our perspective, we had a lengthy conversation about this yesterday. We had to try and make the money line up. There were a number of candidates, and as Ronnie Wilson said, we're going to trade away a guy who's arguably our hardest worker in the weight room, arguably our hardest worker on the ice, and a character guy. We got to think hard about this. So for both players, we want to say thank you for their service to the Toronto Maple Leafs and wish them well. With the player that's coming back, obviously there's a history here with, I've had this player, was fortunate enough to win a championship with this player. I think more importantly, our goaltending instructor has a history with this player. Francois Allaire, I believe, was instrumental in turning J.S. Giguere into a top-flight goaltender in the National Hockey League. If you look at J.S.'s history, he wasn't drafted by Anaheim, and he wasn't drafted by the second team he played for. He's been in 3 organizations, and it was when he finally got hooked up with Francois Allaire that I think he turned into a frontline goaltender. What I love about him is I've never had a goalie that worked this hard. This guy tries to stop every shot in practice. I've had lots of goalies, and I've had good goalies, but I've never had a goalie that worked as hard as J.S. Giguere. He takes every scoring chance in practice as a personal challenge, works like a dog. His technique is sound. And he's a battler. I mean, this is a guy that won a Conn Smythe in a losing cause. That doesn't happen very often. So, this, in my mind, an important guy. Question, obviously, that's going to come to the forefront, and I'll anticipate it on behalf of the group, is where does this leave us with the Monster? And it doesn't change anything with the Monster. Our plan originally was to bring him in and work him into a role here where we planned on 25 or 30 games, and this is not revisionist history. You can all go back and look at when we talked about this at the start of the year. This brings us a guy that we think can help manage the workload, and also serve as a mentor for the Monster. They're both play the same style of play, and for our young goaltender to get a look at how hard this guy who has a ring, how hard he works, and how he buys into Frankie's program, Francois Allaire's program, I think is important. So it doesn't change our view on the Monster. We're still glad we signed him. He's still going to be a big part of the future here. That's the plan. But I think we needed to shore up the goaltending position.